Warren. Cardiff, of course, where we'll see the second sprint race of the year. That is on the 17th of August. We've got the Speedway of Nations next month to look forward to. There's no doubt we're not going to hang around here tonight. Once we start racing, they're going to rattle through these heats big time, try and make up some time and entertain the crowd. So it's going to be hard and tough for the teams, isn't it? For the mechanics in particular, yeah, keeping everything going.
Yeah, the bikes will be a little dirtier than normal from the opening heat, so all the mechanics are going to be up against it. But they're all waving to our camera, so they're in good spirits, which is good to see. They've had a long, long wait, but I expect to hear the roar of engines and the warm-up very soon, because I'm sure they will have to be warming the bikes up again. But
heat number one then, Leon Madsen, Ty Wiffenden, Simon Wozniak and Jan Kvek. Kvek off the outside. Well, I feel for him a little bit, but there's no doubt that he'll be giving it his very best. As I say, they are going to work right up to the deadline here. No news at the moment to suggest that it's going to be a pushback again. It looks like we are going to be set to go in approximately 9 minutes' time.
And I don't think we'll have to wait 12 heats, as I predicted earlier.
Sorry, 4 minutes' time.
for the track to sort itself out, because looking at it now, it's only going to take 4 or 5 races for that to become a reasonable surface.
Well, we'll see about... We'll wait and see on that. But still a bit muddy there. But once those riders, once the racing starts and the dirt starts to move and they keep grading it and the air gets to it, then the track, I like to think the track will dry out relatively quickly.
We've seen it before where Malilla has started after the rain very wet, and we've actually had dust by midway through the meeting. So
dust.
Mark my word.
Yeah. That sounds absolutely ridiculous right now, but you might be right. But I do know that often on these evenings, the racing can actually come really good as the competition goes through. 23 races, as I say, it can change dramatically. Grading with this equipment, they can knock it around big time. They can do all sorts of things. And motorcycles on there, it might not be spectacular to begin with. Almost certainly won't be. But as long as it's not dangerous, and I don't think it will be.
No.
I don't think it will be. I reckon we will be all systems go. How about that? Jan Kvek, big smile on his face. Let's hope that stays the same in a few moments' time when he comes back in from his opening ride.
Wearing a mud moustache.
He might not look quite like that when he comes back, but he'll be hoping so if he can make a start from gate number 4 in heat number 1. Leon Madsen having a quiet season. This is an opportunity for Ty Wiffenden here. Out in heat number 1, can he jump out of gate number 2, hit the front? Wiffenden, of course, a fabulous motorcycle rider. And you don't win 3 World Championships without knowing what you're up to. Back in Britain, riding for the Sheffield Tigers. So he has really got the experience of riding in slightly awkward conditions from time to time. It does seem a little harsh on England that, only in England we have difficult, wet tracks. That is not the case. National Speedway Stadium is arguably the best track in Europe, if not the world. And we see some wonderful speedway there. But we do have a variety of size of tracks with different surfaces, which does give a lot of experience and a lot of... It makes riders all-round riders.
Well, the riders now coming out.
Now, this is what I was expecting this to happen.
And I'm looking at what they're looking at, pretty much. And honestly, I think the track's come round pretty good. I can't see that they're going to have too many complaints. It's still firm. There's not a lot of sort of standing water and wet, slushy material. They've managed to get most of that off and dig up some dry stuff. So can see there Zmarzlik with his dirtometer.
I do hope that's one of mine.
It doesn't look like one of yours, Kelvin.
I'm not sure that's calibrated correctly. He may have got the wrong information.
He normally goes for the best stuff, so.
Okay. Fair play. Touché, sir. So, no, but... it's
going to be one of those nights, isn't it? It's been a long day.
It is, indeed. We must be running out of things to say. But Andrei Lebedev's just keeping himself warm. We're not too far away from the opening race. And then we'll have something decent to chat about. But there's no doubt that I can understand why they've allowed riders to come out, because conditions are so vastly different from what they encountered earlier today. Rain has stopped. Looks like if the forecast is correct, and so far today it has been, the weather should have moved through now. It shouldn't come back. And I don't think it'll be too long before the racing conditions are pretty good.
Lebedev's another interesting character who's just come into a rich vein of form, had his best Grand Prix in Prague. He's just recently won the opening round of the European Championship, so he's found some form.
He has indeed, and he very nearly made the semi-final here last year. He touched the tapes, if I remember rightly, and there's no doubt that he will be keen to try and get his Grand Prix really underway. It's been tough going for Lebedevs. So what has he scored? He's had 4 points in the opening round. He, as you rightly say, he picked up 9 points, and in the last one in Prague, so looking to build on that. Just push back another 5 minutes, probably because riders have had a good look at the track for the opening race. So we are approaching, nearly 2 hours, an hour and 50 minutes behind schedule. Normally start at 7 o'clock for the first race. If the weather hadn't have intervened, that's the normal starting point. But with no real curfew and no noise problems here out in the forest here in Malilla, then we are very fortunate to be able to wait this long, to be able to get the racing underway. Jankovic seems pretty relaxed. As I say, early on, this is a leveller. If, you know, this is a bit of a lottery. Riders won't know quite what's going to happen until you've got your first ride out of the way.
And as you said, Kelvin, every single rider, every single mechanic, the officials will all be taking so much interest in this opening heat, you know, and no one's quite sure how the track will react. I think it will react okay. There is still some surface slush on the very inside, which is going to have to be moved out of the way, but there won't be many races before the track settles down.
Jankovic, of course, rode for the Czech Republic brilliantly in the Speedway of Nations a couple of years ago, and they very nearly beat Poland. They were in a position where they could well have done it. And now with Jankovic has made his way through into the Grand Prix. It hasn't taken him very long at all. Whether he's around next year, that is debatable, but I'm sure at the tender age of 22, he will reflect on that and he will come once again. Let's take a look at the first 4 races for you. You can pick out who your favourite rider is, where he's starting from. We've mentioned heat number 1 with Madsen, Woodford and Wozniak and Kvek. Robert Lambert, the fastest man in qualifying, going from the inside in heat number 2. Freddie Lindgren there off the outside with Kubera. Those riders all in form. Andrei Lebedev's hit some form lately. Bartosz Zmarzlik going along nicely. Jack Holder will want to get off to a fast start there out of gate number 4 in heat 3. And then heat number 4, where we see Dan Bewley, won last year, Martin Beslik, a winner 2 weeks ago, Max Frick going nicely, the wild card, Kim Nielsen. Can he produce something special tonight? We won't have too much longer to wait now, because riders are on bikes, preparing themselves to come out for the opening race. So Ty Wolfenden rode so much better when we saw him ride in Manchester in the British Championship last weekend. He could see everything about his body language, his intent. The ride in the semi-final, in actual fact, when we went the third to first, was vintage Wolfenden, wasn't it? And so very nearly won it, but it was only a sensational ride from Dan Bewley that saw him denied. So if he can just tap into some of that form, who knows? We could see Ty Wolfenden bouncing back to form here tonight in Sweden. We very much hope so, because he's quite a character. He's a very popular man in the world of Speedway. Yeah, indeed. And yeah, as you say, British final, very decisive. He was better at making decisions in the Grand Prix so far this year. We've seen a lot of slow and poor decision making, particularly in first turns, where he's made reasonable starts and then gone backwards, but didn't see any of that in the British final at Manchester. So yeah, and he's going to be needing to be decisive. He is indeed tonight, because conditions not perfect. Thank you very much for your patience. We have got riders entering the arena and racing is about to get underway. It's been nearly a 2-hour wait, so those of you who have stayed with us, we very much appreciate that. Track is still pretty damp in places. It will take a race or two for it to settle down, and everybody in the pits, riders, mechanics, managers, are going to be very, very keenly looking on to the litmus test, which is heat number 1. That man, Leon Madsen, a former world number 2. He's not normally keen on these conditions, but he's got gate 1. Yeah. I think his night is very much dependent on what sort of start he makes here. could well be right. Ty Woofenden will know exactly what he needs to do. All four of them will. Visibility will be a problem. It's going to be greasy. It's going to be a little bit tricky early doors. Starting, absolutely vital. Ovi Funding said it. He was a good gator. In conditions like this, being a good gator can be the difference between winning and losing. So riders just getting a feel for it out there, but they won't really understand exactly what it's all about until they charge into the first corner. So the line-up for heat number 1 here in Malilla. Leon Madsen off the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Ty Woofenden. Simon Wozniak out of gate number 3, and Jan Kovac from the Czech Republic will go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour for heat number 1. Finally, racing is about to get underway.
Yeah, riders will take every bit of their 2 minutes time allowance at the start for their opening races. The start line, really, where they've ripped it up to try and bring up some dry dirt, really quite deep and messy, so very important to try and find the best spot to start in.
Yeah, a bit tacky, a little bit slippery, not ideal, won't feel completely comfortable on the bike, but you're going to get a bit of wheel spin initially, but then you're going to hope that your bike drives to the first corner. Here we go. Whoa, Woofenden moved early there. What a start from Wozniak. Didn't see that coming. Fabulous start from Simon Wozniak. He fires himself to the front. Ty Woofenden just took a bit of a gamble at the start there. He's running high and wide. Can he get round the outside of Leon Madsen? Just think he might be able to. He's running high and wide again. Madsen pushing him even wider. But Simon Wozniak, what a start from gate 3.
Yeah, good ride so far from Ty Woofenden. He's riding, he's trusting the track where the track staff were just ripping it up, but he hasn't managed to get across Leon Madsen. Leon just sticking to the inside. He's managed to get ahead now of Ty Woofenden. Really difficult racing conditions in these early heats, but Simon Wozniak, really good start from gate 3. Got himself in front, he's got clean goggles to be a happy boy.
Fabulous start from Simon Wozniak. Great effort from Woofenden there, but just could not quite get round the outside of Madsen. Madsen then was ruthless, pushed him wide. But for Wozniak, he picks up a fine win there. Track's nice and rideable, got to say that. Not easy to see where you're going right now, but no complaints from the point of view that they're leaping around. But for that man, that bike, absolutely fabulous out of gate number 3. And Wozniak, who was one of the slowest in qualifying today, comes away with a lovely win in the opening race. 3 points for Wozniak, 2 points for Leon Madsen in second, 1 point for Ty Woofenden, and Jan Kovac off the outside fails to score. But bit of a surprise there, but it is a lottery right now, but a great start. Look at Woofenden.
Yeah, Woofenden's just had a nibble there. The reason the referee hasn't brought it back as an unsatisfactory start is that he actually penalised himself, didn't gain any sort of advantage from that. And he soon moved across to the outside, which surprised me because he knows he's going to take all the spray from Leon Madsen and Simon Wozniak. But Wozniak hits the front bike, just really launching off the start really nicely for him. And once he's out front, of course, he's got no extra weight from the dirt fly there. Leon Madsen just says, look, you've got to stop this challenge. Gives Ty Woofenden a little nudge. You can see the tear off there just flapping from Simon Wozniak, but he didn't need any, did he?
He did not. Super ride from him, and it was all about the start, and there's going to be a lot of emphasis on that early doors here. Now we're looking at Robert Lambert, who was the fastest man in qualifying. He's got the inside gate here. Will it prove to be advantageous? It wasn't in heat number 1. We're going to rattle through these. Stay with us because, well, we're not going to hang about tonight. Robert Lambert off the inside in red. Kai Hülkenberg, gate number 2 in blue. Dominic Kubera going well in the last couple of Grand Prix. Gate number 3 in white. And Freddie Lindgren off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. What a record he has here in Malilla. Not the ideal place. Look how muddy it is out on gate number 4.
No, it's not the ideal place, but if anyone can make it work, he can, or he'll make a smart first turn. Let's see.
Here we go then. Green light's about to come on. Engines are revving away. Long pause. And they charge into the first corner, and it's all about Robert Lambert. He gets there, sweeps up the banking. Here comes Lindgren looking for a way through, and there isn't one. He gets the door slammed shut on him down the back straight on the opening lap, trying to get the better of Hülkenberg. Kubera's there in second place. Robert Lambert is away. Utilised the inside gate beautifully there.
Yeah, it did. And we're just seeing now how difficult it is to make any overtaking manoeuvres. Freddie Lindgren's now switched to the inside. He's going to get plenty of drive off this corner here. Hülkenberg, though, he always carries lots of speed. He's got good equipment. Very wide now. That's got to open the door for Lindgren. Yes, it has.
Lindgren just about coming through into third place, with Robert Lambert out in front, dominating heat number 2. Freddie Lindgren, as always, working hard, only for a point this time, with Hülkenberg still sniffing around there. But for this man, who started strongly here, was quick in qualifying, was positive in his interview earlier on with Abby, says that the track conditions might be a problem for him. And quite often when there's had rain in Sweden, the track really is spectacular. And Robert Lambert starts with a fine win. 3 points for him. Dominic Kubera back in second place, 2 points. Freddie Lindgren working hard for 1 point, and Kai Hülkenberg missing out in heat number 2.
Well, race director Phil Morris is getting these boys out extremely quickly as we see the start again for Robert Lambert on the inside. Look, he's got half the bike over the curve, just covering that line going in. Then he moves mid-track and realises straight away that his bike is working out there. You see the battle at the back there. Oh, I tell you what, it's very, very nasty moment there for Freddie Lindgren as he just clips the back wheel of Kubera. He's had a couple of nasty moments at the end of the back straight coming into turn 3 in previous Grand Prix, but he managed to stay on for that one, and a nice move up the inside right around the curve there as Kai Hülkenberg looking to generate speed, and the grip just wasn't there for him.
Was there for Robert Lambert, though. Smashing ride for him. And he starts in fine style tonight. Riders are at tapes for heat number 3. The lineup for you immediately as we get prepared for these boys to charge into it. This track's going to get better, you know. There's no doubt about that. We're going to see some super racing a little later on. Lebedev's on the inside in red. Bartosz Zmarzlik out of gate number 2 in blue. Mikael Mikkelsen, gate number 3 in white. And Jack Holder from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Tough from the outside early doors here.
Interesting looking race. So you've got Lebedev's, he's come into form. You've got Mikkelsen, he's come into form. You've got Zmarzlik and Holder, 1 and 2 in the series.
Good looking heat number 3 then. And Bartosz Zmarzlik, he knows what it's all about. This will focus him. We sense that he hasn't had to work as hard as he has to. He's been just going along very nicely, but here tonight he'll want to get underway with a fast start here. Can he get the better of Lebedev's on the run to the first corner? No, he can't. He sat still there. It's all about Mikkelsen and Lebedev's as they fire themselves into the first turn. Lebedev's off the inside, down the back straight for the opening lap. Here comes Bartosz Zmarzlik, who spun up badly out of gate number 2, trying to get in a second place, but it's Mikkelsen. But Lebedev's in top form coming into tonight, looking good in front.
Yeah, really got the bike hooked up on the way to the corner and round the first turn on the inside line. Mikkelsen was looking to challenge out wide, then he went defensive. He knows that Zmarzlik now on the inside of him is going to give him a run, but he's still looking for a little bit of extra drive on the outside. He is generating a lot of speed. Lebedev's is going to have to watch out here.
Here comes Mikkelsen round the outside. That dirt is just beginning to work. We've seen him do this before. And look at this, it's tight. Tight as they go into the final lap here in heat number 3. Mikkelsen working overtime. Can he get there? Whoa, what a move from him. A winner just a couple of Grand Prix ago. And there was a spectacular ride from the Danish man. Mikael Mikkelsen back in the big time in Grand Prix. And the 3-time former European, or the reigning European champion, gets off to a flyer in heat number 3. What a ride that is.
Fantastic ride, yeah. He changed his mind halfway through.
3 points for Mikkelsen. Lebedev's back in second place. Bartosz Zmarzlik, 1 point in his opening ride, and Jack Holder failing to score. 2 big hitters there, 1 and 2 in the world, missing out on their first ride.
Yeah, difficult conditions, and it's a tough way for those guys to start. Mikkelsen makes a really good start from gate 3. Then he decides, okay, I haven't got across Lebedev's, going to have to move out. You can see looking over his left shoulder, where's Lebedev's, what's he doing? Lebedev's really got the bike hooked up coming off turn 1 on the inside. Quite surprised to see how efficiently he managed to do that. But then he just stuck to the inside, and it's this point there where Mikkelsen now, he's wider. He's trusting that the grip's going to be out there for him, and it was, but that was a really brave entry into turn 3 there as they come into the final lap. Brilliant ride from him.
Mikael Mikkelsen, the race of the night so far, comfortably more spectacular than anybody else so far. What a ride that was. That was a ride full of confidence.
Yeah.
You can't do that if you're a little bit tentative. Fair play to him. Heat number 4, riders are at tapes. We'll run through the lineup straight away for you. Martin Vasilik on the inside in red. Max Frick back in the Grand Prix. Gate number 2 in blue, Kim Nielsen, the wild card. Gate number 3 in white, and Dan Bewley, the local man. Rides for this club, of course. When I say local man, he isn't really. But he rides for this club, Dakinut, so he knows this place like the back of his hand. Gate number 4 in his opening ride in the yellow helmet colour for Bewley. Not ideal. That man, a winner 2 weeks ago, will be really buoyed. Needs to keep it rolling now if he wants another medal in 2024. Bewley hasn't been at his best this year. No. Needs a big Grand Prix tonight.
The gate picks, you know, from a dry track earlier, sort of almost gone upside down because the outside line is really beginning to work quite quickly. So from the inside, it's a long way to get there.
Indeed it is. Heat number 4. Oh, that was a long pause. Tell you what, Max Frick has got away beautifully there. Gets the better of Zmarzlik on the run to the first turn. Kim Nielsen coming through into 3rd place with Bewley trapped at the back. That gate number 4 really has been problematic early on here. Frick out in front. Martin Zmarzlik coming on strong in 2nd place.
Yeah, Max Frick's now just turned to the inside. He did look to go to the outside. Only went mid-track. Probably didn't find the maximum amount of grip out there. So now he's decided, OK, maybe the fast way for me. I'm in front. Let's stick to the inside line. And he's going slightly quicker than Martin Zmarzlik. Not really dropping him, but another tough race for the man off gate 4. This time it's Dan Bewley, just 1 point from there so far.
Well, Bewley hasn't really made an impact at all here. Max Frick, unlike Bartosz Zmarzlik in the previous race, made a smashing start from gate 2. Zmarzlik just went nowhere when he dropped the clutch. And this is a classy ride from Max Frick, who's in to replace the injured Jason Doyle. Starts his night off with a fine ride there and a 3 points in the bag. Won 3 races as well in Prague, you know. A couple of weeks ago.
Good in Prague.
He was indeed. I thought he was going to go through to the final. Didn't quite make it, but nonetheless started with 10 points. 3 points for Frick out in front. 2nd place, Martin Zmarzlik. 1 point for Kim Nielsen, and disappointing for Dan Bewley in heat number 4, failing to score. So we're underway. There we are. The 4 winners so far in Lambert, Mikkelsen, Wozniak and Frick. Everybody's had a ride. And we have got a Grand Prix for you. And plenty of racing still to come. So what are your thoughts on the first 4 races? Not too bad.
Not too bad, no. There's a lot of commitment. The track's settling down quick. There's been a winner from each of the gate positions except for gate 4, which has been an absolute disaster so far. But we shall see if that probably gets better later on. But a good start there, as you rightly say. Zmarzlik couldn't make that work, and this is the first race win from gate 2 of the night. But it was a nice ride there, opening lap. You can see that Max Frick goes out wide, then he looks across his left shoulder, sees that Martin Zmarzlik is riding the inside, and he's made some ground up. So very quickly, Max Frick then says, right, quickest place for me is round the curb, and so it proved to be. But a good opening ride from him.
Yeah, superb ride from Max Frick with a point to prove. Opportunity to secure his Grand Prix future moving into 2025. He's actually in the challenge as well, which is in early October in Pardubice in the Czech Republic. So he's got 2 opportunities now to be a Grand Prix rider in 2025. 1 win from the inside, 1 win from gate number 2, 2 out of gate number 3, which is a surprise, but conditions are playing their part. No wins from the outside. Last night in SGP2 in a dry conditions, gate number 4 was problematic. Say the same here tonight. So we've got a little bit of time. We can get some reaction from the winner of heat number 1. Simon Wozniak is going to join Abby.
Simon, well done. A great victory in the first heat. What was that heat like, knowing that we just had a 2-hour delay?
Yeah, I warmed up today like 6 times, but yeah, that was worth it. Start was pretty important. That was crucial thing for first race because track is still wet. And yeah, my start was really good. Then I just chose the right line, and yeah, that was good heat.
Just looking at where you're going from next, you're out on the outside gate, and gate 4 is really problematic early on so far tonight.
Yeah, true. Like start is pretty wet. I think that's the most wet place at the track now. So yeah, I just tried to prepare my gate as good as I could, spend some time to take the mud off, and yeah, just talk to my bike like, please start nicely, because I need that, and yeah, that was good.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Maybe that's where I went wrong. I didn't speak to my bike nicely enough, because clearly he spoke to his bike very nicely for heat number 1 and flew away from gate number 3 and got his Grand Prix off to a flying start. Simon Wozniak working hand in hand with Greg Hancock, of course, and they'll be chucked to bits with the way they've started.
What sort of things did you say to your bike, Colin?
Well, I was probably, most of the time, I was probably having a go at it. Because you never really sort of complimented your bike when you were going well, but you sure spoke to it when you weren't in forthright terms, when it was potentially letting you down. Well, heat number 5 coming up, we'll see Dan Bewley out again, who will be looking to bounce back after a disappointing ride in heat number 4, but he does have the inside gate from heat number 5, so he'll be looking to get amongst the points very shortly. So we're underway. We've had 4 races, no dramas, no anything too tricky. We'll take a look at the next 4 races for you, 5 through to 8. Everybody will be having their second ride tonight. So heat number 5, we've got Bewley, Madsen, Lambert and Mikkelsen. Now that's a tough race. Mikkelsen and Lambert look really impressive in their rides, opening rides. Frick looked good out first time. He's in heat number 6 up against Woofenden, who tried awfully hard but just got filled in there. Kubera solid with his second place. Zmarzlik needs to bounce back now. Gate number 1 here. Didn't utilise gate number 2 in his first ride. Wozniak could be a danger, but he's got gate 4. And then Freddie Lindgren out in heat number 8, looking to build on his 1 point from his first ride.
Yeah, Zmarzlik needs to take advantage of being on the inside. It has actually scored the most points.
Right.
Gate number 1. So
loving it, loving it. Dan Bewley's there this time. Rides for the club. Looked a little tentative in that opening ride, but understandably, it really is a tough run from the outside at this early stage of the night. Look how claggy and muddy it is there. They've ripped it up once again, trying to get some air to it to dry it out.
It's an absolute nightmare as a rider when you rock up to that. You've got nothing to see. You can't find any ruts. You don't know if they're straight or if they're going in all different directions. Really tough.
What would you do in those circumstances? Would you just try and
scrape it away, get rid of it? It's too wet.
Dan Bewley on the inside in red then. Gate number 2 in blue is Leon Madsen. Robert Lambert, gate number 3 in white, and Mikkel Mikkelsen off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Good-looking race, this one. 2 winners. Bewley looking for his first points of the evening. Madsen looking to build on that second place he had in heat number 1. Madsen chose the start number 1 for tonight, so he'll be out after every track grade, and he'll make his way across the start line. He's on 2, then he'll go 3, 4, and then back to the inside for his final qualifier. But look at the mud on the back tyres. It's awkward, isn't it? Pulling the bike back, everything about it just doesn't feel right.
No, it's all hard work, but gate 3, actually, it's won a couple of races, and it looks drier, certainly, than 1 and 2. And we heard Simon Wozniak in his interview say that gate 4 is the wettest. So I would imagine, having rocked up and looked at what his opposition has got, Robert Lambert's probably quite pleased.
Yeah, Lambert with a super ride first time. Heat number 2, he was comfortable out in front, made the inside gate work. Can he do it again out of gate number 3 this time? Lambert coming into tonight on 53 World Championship points, lies 3rd in the championship chase, going along nicely. Tapes are up, we're underway. He's made a great start. Lambert's there, Bewley's there with him, but Lambert's going to get the better of him out wide, down the back straight. Bewley, I tell you what, he is riding nicely. Worked the bike perfectly there.
Let it go, didn't he?
He did indeed, just sat back on the bike, relaxed. Bewley working hard to keep Leon Madsen behind him, and I'm going to say Mikkelsen off the outside once again, finding it awfully tough, but it looks like Robert Lambert is in charge here once again.
Yeah, Robert Lambert riding really nicely, full of confidence, letting the bike go. By that I mean he's not turning it hard, he's not stopping it anywhere, he's not scrubbing off any speed, he's just keeping his wheels in line the best he can. And Dan Bewley will be happy with a couple of points after a disappointing first ride. He's coming under a little bit of pressure from Madsen, but it seems to be settling down now.
Indeed he is. Dan Bewley running high and wide. It's going to be grippy up there, but for this man who had a very positive interview with Abby Stevens prior to racing beginning, and that is translating into 2 smashing rides. He's unbeaten so far in his first 2 heats. Gate 3 working a treat for him, and Gate 1 in his first ride as well. So the fastest man in qualifying is producing the goods out on track in his first 2 rides. 3 points for Robert Lambert. Dan Bewley back in second place, 2 points, his first points of the night. Leon Madsen, 1 point in third, and Mickelson misses out in heat number 5. Robert Lambert really in a class of his own. That bike is working beautifully, isn't it? Look at this.
Yeah,
digs in and goes forward.
It does, yeah. Gate 3, I think, is a slight advantage at the moment, and but he took full advantage of it. He got the bike to the corner, went straight out to the dirt line, trusted that his equipment would find the grip and go forward, and it certainly did. But he's riding well. It's not just about the bike. You can see there the bike finding plenty of grip, but here he's just getting his wheels in line early. He's just letting the bike flow in the dirt. He's not scrubbing any of the speed off. You can see the back tyre there all out of shape, but it's doing its job.
I like that shot.
Yeah,
I like that shot. It really looks good, and he's a tidy rider. The legs are not flapping around all over the place. He's neat and tidy on the bike.
Compact, isn't he?
He's compact and relaxed on the bike, and that's a rider full of confidence, unbeaten so far. Riders that take saw heat number 6. The race winner here in Max Frick. Looked good in his first ride. Cabrera with a solid second place. He's out here as well, but he's off the outside. Tough from there so far. So the lineup for heat number 6 is Max Frick on the inside in red, Andre Lebedev's gate number 2 in blue, Ty Woofenden on a warning, gate number 3 in white, and Dominic Cabrera off the outside in yellow. Woofenden will be aware that gate number 3 is working. Can he produce a start now? I sense if he hits the front, he'll be quick enough. The road with plenty of intent there, just got filled in that opening race, trying to get round the outside of Madsen.
Yeah, tough in the opening race, trying to come from behind. He moved out very quickly. I was surprised to see that, but it was worth the try.
It was indeed. Green lights on, revs are up. What a reaction there from Max Frick and for Ty Woofenden. Woofenden trying to turn back, but Max Frick, textbook stuff from him. Oh my goodness, he very nearly ran out of grip. Very nearly came off the bike down the straight there, and Woofenden, as a consequence, has gone to the back. That's a real disappointment for him. But for Max Frick, back in the GP, I keep saying it, what a return to form this is at the very highest level.
Yeah, he's come straight into the series, done well in Prague, looking great again tonight. Lebedev's, though, full of confidence, riding well at the moment, and he's giving chase. Oh, Max there with an so I'll be interested to see the replays to see exactly what he did. I think he just caught the berm down the straight with the footrest, but Ty Woofenden had all sorts of problems on that opening lap. Some of his decision-making not the best, and found himself at the back, but race settling down. Max Frick looking good.
Frick out in front, he's going to go back to back. Robert Lambert and Max Frick lead the Grand Prix. They're tied on 6 points each. Brilliant stuff. What a start it was off the inside. Really, really sharp when he dropped the clutch. Woofenden was there with him, but he couldn't match the speed of Frick in front. And the Australians looking good tonight. 3 points for Frick. Lebedev's going nicely as well in second place. 2 points for him. Cabrera back in third, 1. Woofenden misses out in heat number 6. But I've got to say, Max Frick, so sharp away from the tapes. Let's watch this again. Look at that bike. Absolutely brilliant into the first turn.
Yeah, brilliant. And he was very aware that the opposition was probably coming from Ty Woofenden, knowing that gate 3 was working well there. But Ty just gets himself on the outside, almost gets over-committed there at this point as they leave turn 1 there, but Max Frick there, yeah, he's just caught the berm and it's just shot him forward and actually sort of sent him across the track towards the corner.
Bit untidy.
But it almost did him a favour, because Lebedev's had generated a lot of speed and was going to roar around the inside, and Max Frick, wherever he wanted to ride, that's where he ended up, so he covered the track quite nicely.
Brilliant nonetheless from that man, Max Frick, in the form of his life, I would suggest. 2024, what an opportunity it is for him. Heat number 7. Riders are out there, we're cracking on. Bartosz Zmarzlik looking for more this time. He's on the inside gate, but he's got plenty of competition. Wozniak, very impressive in his first ride. He's off the outside gate, and it's muddy out there. Very muddy.
Yes, nice description.
Zmarzlik, his bike went nowhere in this first ride of gate 2. He's on the inside, he's changed his bike. Red helmet colour for the world champion. Gate number 2 in blue is Martin Vashlik. Kai Hülkenberg, gate number 3 in white, and Simon Wozniak off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Look at that. It is a quagmire up against the fence there where he's time from. All the very best, Simon. Here we go then.
He knew what to expect. He said in his interview that 4's not ideal.
Here we go then, heat number 7. Zmarzlik on the inside. Does his bike work better this time?
Yep.
It sure does. That bike worked a treat. Fires himself to the corner, up the banking, hits the dirt. Tight down the back straight with Hülkenberg coming on. He's having to work hard, the world champion, to get across him there. Just about does it. We've got Zmarzlik back in 3rd place with Wozniak out the back. But the change of bike, bit of soul searching going on in the World Championships pit corner. And it's worked a treat here in heat number 7.
Hülkenberg putting Zmarzlik under plenty of pressure on the opening lap, but Zmarzlik now just seems to be settling into the race. Very rare, actually, during a meeting that we see Zmarzlik changing bikes. He's normally very good at making decisions from the qualifying practice, normally makes the right choices, but rolling the dice early here. Nice move there from Martin Zmarzlik. Up the inside of there now, Hülkenberg paying the favour back.
Oh my goodness gracious me, that was tough. Hülkenberg took no prisoners there, replaying the compliment and some. But for Bartosz Zmarzlik, what a ride from him. Goodness gracious me, how on earth that Zmarzlik stayed on his bike, I'm not really quite sure. Brilliant ride from Zmarzlik. Fireworks going on behind him. Race of the evening so far by a country mile. Zmarzlik will be pleased with the decision they've made. He moves on to 4 points from 2 outings. 3 big points for the world champion there. Kai Hülkenberg ruthless with Martin Zmarzlik. 2 points for him. Martin Zmarzlik back in 3rd, 1 point at Simon Wozniak. Misses out in heat number 7. Some tough speedway here in heat number 7.
Yeah, it certainly was, but Zmarzlik will be happy. Bike did hook up off gate 1 there. It's still quite muddy down there. He went straight out to the dirt. Gave Hülkenberg every opportunity there to sneak up the inside. He had got a lot of straight line speed, but as we know, Zmarzlik will not concede a corner unless it's absolutely necessary. He manages just to get across, get around the outside. This is where all the action starts to happen now on the 3rd lap there, as Martin Zmarzlik roars across the front there of Kai Hülkenberg, who then immediately repays the favour, moves out wide. Martin Zmarzlik gets in all sorts of problems, and should rightly say, Kevin, it was a goodness gracious me moment.
Indeed it was, and Martin Zmarzlik did well to stay on there, in truth. Picked up a point, but it was tough there where they swapped places once or twice as they came towards the checkered flag. Heat number 8, Jankovic will go from the inside in the red helmet colour this time. Freddie Lindgren looking for more points. Gate number 2 in blue, so is Jack Holder, failed to score first time out. Gate number 3 in white, and Kim Nielsen's changed his bike straight away. The outside gate for Kim in yellow in heat number 8. Jack Holder needs to get some points on the board here, so does Freddie. They are up against it. Gate number 3's worked pretty well. Kim Nielsen, gate number 4, hasn't been working well.
No, gate 1's won the last couple of races, coming good.
Here we go. And Freddie Lindgren's made a lovely start out of gate number 2, slams the door shut on the way in, but look at Holder around the outside, untidy, but he's going to get there. Got his wheels in line, took a bit of time to do it, but had the bike nearly turned inside out at one point, but he's young, so he's still fairly flexible, needed to be, but he's out in front, and Holder, look at that, right out in the dirt. It's tough out there. Lindgren hanging on in 2nd place.
Holder going quick, he really did let the bike go. I tell you what though, he's getting a tough ride. Once again, you can see a little bit of rodeo riding going on down there in turn 3 and 4, but no, he's generating a lot of speed on the outside. He's full of confidence, he's brave. We've seen that. Jankovic now looking to put a little bit of pressure on Freddie Lindgren, but Freddie, 1 point in his first ride, a couple of points here. You can just see another typical battling performance from Freddie Lindgren, just to scrape into the semi-finals.
Holder out in front, one last corner to go for him. Looked a little bit untidy early doors, but he does the business there. Failed to score first time. Backs it up in his 2nd ride with a win. Had to do it. Showing good character there. Jack Holder has become a father recently. And congratulations to him and his partner. A special time in their lives right now, and Jack Holder bounces back with a lovely win there. 3 points for him. Freddie Lindgren back in 2nd place, 2 points. Jankovic, 3rd place, 1 point for him, and Kim Nielsen misses out in heat number 8. Crikey, everybody's had 2 races already. It's gone in the blink of an eye. 6 points for Frick and Lambert. They're leading the way. And Bartosz Zmarzlik on 4, so is Lebedev's. 3 points for Mikkelsen, Holder, Wozniak, and Freddie Lindgren. That's your top 8 right now. Everybody's got 3 more qualifying heats to come.
But I was not feeling nothing till we down.
Well, Jack Holder, he was untidy in that first corner, but sheer determination saw him through here.
Yeah, he didn't make the best start from gate 3. Has a look across, sees that the lads are concentrating on the inside, goes straight for the dirt line there. Just hits a little slack patch on the track. It's not very much, but just enough to overturn the bike. I thought he'd lost enough momentum not to be able to get past Freddie Lindgren on the opening bend there. There it goes. Then it grabs hold. Then he gets the wheels in line and stretches those arms, gets his weight on the back of the bike. And he rode bravely, he rode fast. He looked good, to be fair, once the race settled down.
We've got quite a transition from the inside of the track to the outside. It just depends on how far you've got to go for that dirt. The wider it goes, there will come a point, a crossover point, where the fastest way will be back round the inside. Here's the rodeo moment. You were describing it earlier. Does well to hang on to that, but sheer control there. You could see him rolling the throttle off.
Yeah, balance, throttle control, it's all there for Jack.
Right, let's get some reaction. Abby's working hard. We're rushing through. Max Frick, unbeaten so far, is with Abby.
Max, 6 points out of 2 heats, looking good.
Yeah, so far, you know, I've made a couple of good starts, got in front. I think that's pretty important early on in this meeting since it's been pretty wet. So, you know, not a bad start. We just need to try and keep it up. You know, I've got some tough gates coming up in front of me.
Tough gate coming up in your next heat, outside gate, so wet.
Yeah, the starts are really sloppy out there, so it's a bit hit and miss if it's going to go or it's not. You know, so far we've been okay, but it is very hit and miss just from that, you know, first bit off the start.
But early in the meeting, of course, but you and Robert Lambert currently equal on points.
Yeah, you know, still early doors, so I'm sure there's plenty of racing to come. Hopefully we can keep it up, but, you know, I'll see how we look, you know, in a couple of heats' time.
Looking good. Well done, Max.
Thank you.
Max Frick off to a flying start tonight. 6 points, a wonderful base to work from. He's got more challenges to come, of course, but 6 points, couple more, could well be enough for the semi-finals. And so after a couple of rides each, Max Frick and Robert Lambert are in the driving seat. Gate success. The inside gates had 3 wins. 1 win out of gate number 2, 4 out of gate 3. Unusual, but that conditions are playing their part. Nothing off the outside. And for riders that have got a 2-gate force tonight, that's not good news at all.
Just 2 points so far from 8 heats from gate 4, so could be about to change. Bartosz Zmarzlik in heat 9 will come off the outside.
We've got heat number 9 and Bartosz Zmarzlik's got the outside gate. We'll see what the world champion can do about that. He changed his bike. We've got the winning times here. I'm not sure they're going to be too concerned about these. It's all about just getting your nose in front. Lambert, of course. What's that? Heat number 5, he looked decent, 58.7. Slowest winning time is 1 minute, 0.497 in heat number 1, which was understandable. Wet, slippery, slimy, but Wozniak got away nicely. But there you can see the track just beginning to improve a wee bit. Max Frick, 59.245.